Good.
What is this? Test, 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 test.
Test, 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 test. Good evening and welcome to this telecast in Brandon, South Dakota on Lynx TV, on channel 226, Alliance Communications, and YouTube, Lynx YouTube around the world. I am Ken McEwen along with Bob Arnold right next to me. And Bob will be bringing our color, and I'll be bringing you your play-by-play this evening. Welcome, Bob.
It's good to be back. I had to miss last week's game, which was definitely a barn burner because I did watch it and listen to it on live streaming, so it was an excellent game. But we're going to focus on tonight, where we get to play the Mitchell Colonels, who were coming in right now on a little bit of a slide. They're coming in at 1-5. But, anything can happen on a game like tonight. So we got to go up. We got to take care of business. We got to run the offense the way we know it. We got to take care of the defense, which we know we can do, and come out of here with a win tonight.
Absolutely. When we talk about, Bob, you talked about last week, right, when we had the privilege up here it was Kyle and I last week, and we're glad you're back, Bob, and thank you for being back. So last week, that big matchup between two 5-0 teams, your Lynx, protecting their home field and going to 6-0 and catapulting themselves up to that number one position in every poll, okay? Last week was number 2. Now you're sitting at number 1, and there's a ton of emotion, right? That was in that game. I mean, it was all the hype that was moving into that, and then all the hype after it. But here's the biggest thing that we can talk about is that you got it, and we were just talking about it before we went on the air. You got to treat every game as that's your season, right? You need to go 1-0 in this season, in the Mitchell Colonel season.
Yep, and it's you got to kind of shake your hands and dust the dust off of the hands from last week and get ready for this one. But we are going to pause as we do the national anthem.
It is military appreciation this evening, and here's your national anthem. And our national anthem on Military Night in Brandon, South Dakota on this Friday matinee. You heard the fireworks. We actually have a screen up here in our, Bob, in our telecast in our booth now, which is amazing. So we can actually see what you see. And so, folks, welcome again. If in the beginning of our telecast we did have a little bit of technical difficulties, welcome to this telecast of Lynx football on Lynx TV, YouTube, around the world, and Alliance Communications 226 on Alliance Communications, like I just talked about, Bob. And we're going to go over to the sponsors here right now that are the reason we're able to bring this telecast to you live this evening.
But Ken, out on the middle of the field, we got something special tonight with Military Appreciation Night. We got Jim Lynn, a Brandon Valley native, 35-year career in the military, will be out doing a special coin flip for the game to decide who gets to kick off and receive and so forth. Mr. Lynn had 3 students that went through the Brandon Valley school system, so we're very happy to have him back and joining us for Military Appreciation Night. But back to our sponsors.
Our sponsors go like this.
Our Lynx All-American sponsors are Alliance Communication, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling, Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And our Lynx champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Arrowhead Automotive, Axiom Construction Group, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Buren Grunig Heating and Air Conditioning, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Northwest Tire, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, Sunshine Food Stores, and Today's Family Dentistry. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And fans, if you're listening out there, go into the door of some of these folks and tell them thank you for sponsoring Lynx TV, because without them, we wouldn't be here.
100%, Bob. And Bob Arnold is back doing our color commentating. He had to take a quick break, let's just say it, last week from telecasting, and Kyle Roki filled in for him. So welcome back, Bob. We appreciate you being here. Last week, now, folks, painting the picture of last week, we all know that matchup, right? Where it catapulted the Lynx actually go into the number 1 seed so far in the number 1 ranking in AAA in the state of South Dakota. But on Lynx TV YouTube last week, Bob, there was over at one point 2,000 people that logged in and started watching that game. So we appreciate you all wherever you are in this. You could be in this country, you could be outside of this country, wherever you are. We appreciate you tuning in and being with us this evening, as we're going to bring you this battle. Lynx 6-0 going into this evening, this Friday evening, and the Mitchell Colonels are 1-5. The Lynx took on, like we talked about, the Sioux Falls Lincoln last week and won 35-30 between a 1-2 matchup in 11 AAA in the rankings. Mitchell Colonels lost to the Aberdeen Central
Golden Eagles.
28-13. And we're going to start this one off. It is Mitchell to kick, and he kicks to number 2 for
Oh, he's on
Colonels.
the loose a little bit.
That is Skinner. Skinner does bring it up to about the 48-yard line, or we'll say 47, and that's where the Colonels are going to start out with the ball. Good field position for them to open up this matchup.
Yes, he found a good lane down the near side, inside the hash, and he didn't get out till almost the 50-yard line before Pudwell brought him down with a hard tackle. But looks like we've got the Mitchell Colonels lining up on offense.
I formation for Hazing. He's number 18. He's going to be the quarterback for the Colonels. The Lynx will bring that 3-4 defense into play tonight. And there is a quick handoff to, I believe, 42, or excuse me, 42. That's going to be Bessler for the first attempt on 1st and 10. They go nowhere, and the Lynx defense, we know, came up with some big plays against Lincoln last week with a couple turnovers late in that ball game in the fourth quarter that kind of catapulted that win for the Lynx. 2nd down and 10 for the Colonels from the 47. That's Hazing, the quarterback. He's got 2 receivers. Actually, it's 2 tight ends set with 1 receiver to his right and 1 to his left. The ball's on the turf. It is recovered by Hazing, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now in 12.
I think he could hear some footsteps coming, and he tried to pull away from the center just a little too quick, and the ball dropped on the ground. He was pretty good to get on the ball to save it because there was a couple of defenders right there that were hoping that they were going to grab it.
Hazing, the quarterback for the Colonels this evening, like we talked about, he's a sophomore. He's thrown for 304 yards. And he's with 2 touchdowns, 61 yards on the ground with 1 touchdown. He's going to drop back to pass, and
we got the ball. Dylan Williams.
He is sacked by number 28 for the Lynx defense this evening.
Will Bunkers.
And that's going to be Bunkers coming off of that outside linebacker position with a quick blitz. Lynx ball turnover on the first series by the Colonels. Lynx coming out with their high-powered offense, 35 points last week against a really, really good Patriots team. That's going to be Van Leeuwer again. He started last game, played all last game, and he's going to be your starting quarterback this evening. He does have Ryder Mueller with him. Play action. They're going to go deep,
open.
And they have it open. It's going to be pass interference.
There's a flag on the play.
It's
going to be a quick 15 yards, Ken.
It's going to be pass interference as it's face guarding. You have to actually make a play on the ball. You have to actually turn your head, and that's what happens there. It's going to bring the ball. It's not a spot foul. It's just going to be a 15-yard penalty.
That was probably a good penalty on his part because that was a touchdown. That was a touchdown written all over it. Good play call because if they're going to gear up to stop the run, that ought to loosen up a little bit having a long pass right out of the gate. Seems like they did that last week, too.
Pistol formation for Van Leeuwer. That's Dowd in motion, his big tight end from left to right. They do give it to Mueller. He's met in the backfield. Great play by the Colonel's defender. That's going to be number 41.
I think it was 40, Ken.
Was it 40?
And it was the Baylor Christensen. Or if it was 41, we'll give them both the credit for the doubt, Nolan Widstrom.
So I believe it was 40. I think you are correct. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 11 off that penalty and that stop by the Colonel's defense. Lynx ran heavy last week. We had a little bit of Van Leeuwer throwing the ball in the first series, and he did that already in this one to grab a pass interference. That's going to be Mueller. He's going to grab a chunk of yards. Actually, he's going to go up to about right around the 12, maybe 11-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. Lynx going hurry-up offense. Van Leeuwer, direct snap to Mueller. They like to do that, and Mueller almost finds the end zone down to about the 2-yard line. It's going to be in 1st and goal from right there.
It looks like number 60 on the tackle, Rocky Clark. Like they've got 1st and goal.
Direct snap, Mueller, and he's going to be met in the backfield. It's going to be no gain, maybe a loss of about 1.
Logan, yep. Sorry, Ken.
It's going to be bring up a actual 2nd down and goal from the 2. Go ahead.
Logan Bessler on the tackle. They just stopped our line right there, and that doesn't happen too often, where our line does not get the best of the folks across from them, right in front of Mr. Parliament.
Van Leeuwer motions his wide receiver, that's Maddox Mueller, out from the tight formation. Van Leeuwer, heavy pressure. He breaks it. Corner of the end zone, touchdown. Lynx score right away, 6-0 on this Friday evening on Military Appreciation Night. Van Leeuwen, heavy pressure. He did get out of that pressure real quick and found the corner of the end zone, kicking game on for the extra point for the Lynx.
I don't think that was the play that was called for that one, but what a good execution of a scramble when the first option is blocked up, that you got a limber quarterback and a mobile quarterback that can make those runs. So
Stroh to hold, Mitzel to kick. It is up and it is good. 7-0. Lynx on top of the Colonels early in this one. 8:24 to go, first quarter.
So for those of you that might be watching and are looking to see particular players, we do got a couple of newer starters tonight. Number 57, Jackson Vogt, is starting at left tackle. Obviously, Van Leeuwen is filling in for the quarterback spot for the second week in a row. So we'll see how that goes. That's why we talk about it during our games, Ken, is that you get some backup players in because you never know when they're going to need to step in and play with the varsity deal. So getting that playing time when the games are maybe out of hand to your benefit, it only helps for nights like tonight.
Absolutely. Special teams came up big right away for the Colonels. They put the ball on the ground, actually 2 consecutive plays. That second down, it was a missed actual snap, and Hazing actually fell on the ball. The second one was a big blitz by the Lynx defender, number 24. Actually, it was Will Bunkers coming off the edge off of that defensive end, kind of hybrid outside linebacker, created the turnover. Lynx score and capitalize on that first series turnover by the Colonels. There's a kick by Mitzel. It's going to be taken by number 2. That's going to be Skinner again. And he's going to be brought down right at the 15. That's where the Colonels, and it was a very awkward fall, and I'm not going to, I don't know if you've seen it on your screen, folks, but yeah, we'll take a timeout. It's an injury. All right, welcome back to the telecast. As Skinner, he does go to the sideline and being helped by one of the players and one of the coaches and the training staff for the Colonels. It wasn't anybody's fault there. It's just a football play that happened there.
But looks like Chase Hartman on the tackle there, so he did his job. He stayed in his lane and prevented them from getting to the outside, which is what happened on the very first time that the Lynx kicked the ball off. So it looks like we're ready to go see if we can get another stop.
High formation for the Colonels. That's going to be Hazing. He's got number 32. That's going to be Allen directly behind him. And I believe it's going to be a delay of game on the Colonels to open this one up. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It's going to bring up a first down and 15 from the 10.
It's tough enough when you're going up against a good defense when you've just got straight up 1st and 10. But when you kind of lose 5 yards because you can't get the play in, makes it a little more difficult on the offense.
Hazing again, under center. Gives it to his running back. He breaks open. That's going to be Allen. He finds a couple yards, maybe 2 to 3, but he is met by, I believe, number 1, Williams, on the tackle, the outside linebacker. I say outside linebacker, right? It's kind of an outside linebacker hybrid position, defensive end in this defense that Coach Christensen and his staff bring to the table every week, as it's going to be second down and about 11 for the Colonels on their second series on this opening quarter here on this Friday, evening, this crisp Friday evening, beautiful evening here in Brandon. I formation. They give it to the fullback, and it's going to be 42 Bessler, and he pushes the pile about maybe 3, maybe 4 yards. It's going to bring up a third down in about 7 from the 19.
Yeah, Ryan Jarvis on the tackle. What a good play, you know. It could have went for a lot more because he made a nice cutback right just on the other side of where the defensive line was, but Jarvis held his spot right in the middle and made a great tackle.
And it brings up third down and 7 for the Colonels. Shotgun formation. That's Hasing. He's got number 42, Bessler, right to his right. They do pitch it to Bessler, the fullback, and he is met right at the 21-yard line. Brings up fourth down, punting situation as the punting team is going to come out for the Colonels. Back deep for the Lynx, and he played a big part in the victory last week, setting up field position really for the Lynx and special teams. He was all over the place. That's going to be Pudwell, number 17. You can see him on your screen at about the 42-yard line. It's going to be very right of your screen. We do have the privilege of seeing that now. That's awesome. Punt up, spiraling to about the 30, 42, and beautiful play there as number 28 for
Samari Wright for the Colonels. You know, that's not often that Pudwell doesn't break that first tackle and get some extra yards, but great play by Samari.
Great play by Samari as Pudwell was looking to grab a big return. We've seen that all year for the first 6 games of the year. He's been tremendous at corner and on special teams. Van Leeuwen, play action. They do go to number 10 for the Lynx, and it's going to be, I'm assuming it's not his first catch of this year, but that's going to be Jewell on the catch, and it's going to bring up a second down and about 8 from the 45.
Yeah, he's had a couple of catches in at least one of the games, the last game that I called, and so that was a good defensive play. They stopped him, and they're not breaking a lot of tackles, which we're used to seeing, so it's a good start for the Colonels on defense.
3 receiver set, trips down to the bottom of your screen. That's going to be Van Leeuwen. He does have Ryder Mueller right behind him, played big last week too. Beautiful ball, finds Blomgren from Van Leeuwen, touchdown Lynx.
Boy, they had a one-on-one coverage, and he made a good move like he was going to go up the deal and then towards the left side of the end zone, and he cut back, and it got the defensive back kind of turned around, and his momentum stopped, and he was wide open. All they had to do was not get too nervous and catch the ball.
Well, that's pick your poison, right, Bob? As a lot of teams have to stop that run. The Lynx are tremendous on the ground, right? And we've seen that all year. Well, that brings, and we talk about this every week as Mitchell's on to kick and Stroh to hold for the Lynx for this extra point. As that one is no good off the right up bar there on the goal post, and that's going to be no good. Lynx take the lead 13-0 in this first quarter with 5:24 to go. Last week we talked about how the defenses tried to climb the box, right? And what I mean by that is the safeties come down into the box to support the run defense, right? Because you got a good running team, great offensive line in front of you, and it was the game ball to me last week was the offensive line. They just dominated that line of scrimmage, and that's what wins ball games, right? And so it's really hard to play against this team because now you're in single coverage, and we just seen that. There was no safeties in sight, right, to help the corner, and Blomgren made a good move, like you said, an out route and then back up the seam, and touchdown, and a very good throw from Van Leeuwen to Blomgren.
Yeah, that was, and you know what? It's kind of funny. It looks like, well, anybody could have hit that. Well, guess what? He threw that thing at least 40 to 45 yards in the air, and it's got to be where the receiver can go get it. And it was perfectly thrown for the route that he was running.
Mitzel, his third kickoff this evening. That's going to be Allen. He takes it about the 12 and brings it up to about the 16, maybe. No, they're going to mark it right at the 19, and that's where the Colonels are going to start on offense.
So, yeah, that was Caden Allen on the return. He's going to have to step out because the helmet came off for at least one play, but he was kind of shaking his head. And I would say who the tackle was, but I think there was at least 50% of the Lynx kickoff team was on that tackle. They were right on him.
Lynx all year have played great special teams in every phase of this team. You're 6-0, right? You've beaten some of the top teams in AAA, and that's because all phases are playing really well right now. That's going to be Hasing. He pitches it to his running back, and I believe we're going to get the number. It's going to be his first carry of the ball game. That's going to be number 10.
Mason Kemp.
Mason Kemp.
Yep. And emphasize on the F on the end.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I got from the coach. That's what we're going to go with.
There we go.
Because it's important. We don't need Mama Kemp calling us, telling us we're announcing their son's name wrong. So
Hasing under center, I formation. He's got Bessler right behind him at fullback. They do give it to Kempf again, and he brings it up to about the 33 on that second down. He's going to bring up a third down now, and about one. As I could say this is the best field position so far for the Colonels, but this is actually the best third down possession for the Colonels so far.
Yeah, Dylan Williams made a nice tackle on that, or he would have clearly got a first down.
Wing T offense right now is the Colonels, and they try to sneak it.
I think according to one official says, yep, I think both of them are signaling they got a first down there, just enough.
Hasing, he does sneak it. And he does move the chains for the first time this evening for the Colonels. It's going to bring up a 1st and 10 from the 29. Lynx defense, we know that they do swarm to the ball a lot. Last week was a really hard test as it was back and forth offensively. But we talked about the defense picking it up in the fourth quarter. And right there is going to be a run by Kempf again, his third carry on this possession, and he gains about 3 yards, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that was kind of a wide pitch, and sometimes they'll pitch it out there, sometimes they'll bring it in and hand it to the running back coming back the other direction. So a lot of it is misdirection, trying to get the defense to over pursue in hopes that they can crack one back the other direction for a long gain.
Hasing under center, he's got his tight end to his right along with one receiver. They do give it to Bessler. Bessler's going to carry the pile about the 35, gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards. It's going to bring up a third down and about 5, maybe 4 from the 35.
Yeah, Dylan Williams got another tackle. He's pretty active tonight on the defense. He's made several up the gut, but he's also made some nice ones where they did quick pitches to the outside, and he was able to run the running back down.
I formation right directly behind Hasing. He's got one receiver to his right and left along with the tight end to his left. Play action, no, they do give it to Bessler. He is met and stuffed right there at the 34, maybe 33-yard line. That's going to be a loss of about 1. Brings up a 4th and 5. Interesting call here. I agree with the Colonel's coaching staff. You just got to still try to play field position here. You're down 2 scores. It's early, though, with 2:05 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, you don't want to give a high-powered offense a very short field, so you need to make them go the distance a little bit here. So
back deep. On your right of your screen is going to be Pudwell. It's a short kick. He looks at it. He grabs it off the bounce. He cuts it up to the 50. He's breaking loose. He's up all the way to the 35. Maybe 34-yard line. Nope, they're going to mark it right at the 35. Lynx cross the midfield. They gain almost all that field position right back to where that punt was.
It absolutely was. Pudwell did an excellent job there because he kind of deked out the outside defensive contain and that guy didn't know where the ball was, and all of a sudden he sprinted up and made an excellent grab on the punt and went down the sideline and got some extra yards after the reception there. Good job on Pudwell's part.
Van Leeuwen motions his tight end out of the pistol set. That's going to be Dowd. He does have Ryder Mueller in the back, and he gives it to him. Big chunk of yards by Mueller up to the 30, gains 5, second down and 5 from right there.
Yeah, it looks like tackle by number 67, Briar Stack. Looks like a gain of, I think, between 4 and 5 yards. So roughly got second down and 5. Might not be a bad time to put one in the air and see if they can get a score here or get a long gainer when they're thinking run. I
know last week, Bob, we were talking about up here that when you have good play calling and good chunk of yards on first down, it opens up that second down playbook, and they open it up. It is a beautiful pass. Really, really good defense by number 5, the corner for the Colonels.
Kyson Herman.
Herman with great coverage
if the ball's thrown out in front of him, we're talking about a score.
As Maddox Mueller did break open, you talked about, Bob, maybe they take a chance there. And we talked about when you have 2nd and 5, that playbook becomes really, really big, right? It's not shortage. It's not short yardage. It's big because you can take chances there on 2nd down. Now the most important part is to gain this first down on 3rd and 5. That's going to be Van Leeuwen, your quarterback, number 9. He motions Blomgren. Gives it to Mueller. He grabs a first down and more. It's going to be actually right at the first down marker.
It's going to be
25.
They're going to move forward.
They're going to move those chains. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 25 as Van Leeuwen is going to look to the sideline. With 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, Lynx have scored on each of their first 2 possessions with the ball, and they are moving off of a big return from Pudwell from the punt from the Colonels. Van Leeuwen, he's got Mueller with him with his fullback, Lyndon Kugel, and it's play action. They go to Lyndon Kugel, the fullback, number 84, his first catch of this one. He grabs that first down, moves the chains, and he is down at about the 13, first down Lynx.
You know, we saw that a lot last year, making good use of the fullback. Not only to block, because they blocked about every play, but they would just slide him out of the backfield when nobody's paying attention to them, and he made a great catch and a run after the catch.
So that's going to do it for our first quarter. It was a fast-running quarter as the Lynx capitalized right away on the turnover on the opening series from the Colonels, and Van Leeuwen finds the end zone in the first quarter on that quarterback keeper, and then a big pass from actually Van Leeuwen to Mueller, and that's the second touchdown going into the second quarter, 13-0 Lynx.
You know, the Lynx offense, you know, they're not trying to trick you. They set up and they just run their plays, and they just think that they can run their plays better than you can stop their plays. And so far this year, that's been the case. Well, why change when you can just set up, basically telegraph what you're going to do, and you can get 5 or 6 yards, etc. But it looks like at the halftime here, at the quarter break, we've got all of our military that are in attendance tonight are all standing up, and everybody's giving them a big round of applause, including all of the players on the sidelines, which is very exciting.
As it's military appreciation this evening, you can see the coaching staff. They have their military appreciation hoodies on, and they have actually a flag on the sleeve. It's pretty cool, right? As the Lynx do this every year for the Lynx, and it's the appreciation for the men and women that serve either abroad here in the United States or wherever they may be in this world. Thank you to them, and thank you for everyone that has served in the past. Van Leeuwen. Mueller cuts it back, across the 10, down to the 2, maybe 3 yard line. Big carry by Mueller. It's going to be first and goal from there. Hurry up offense. It's going to be about the 2-yard line. Van Leeuwen, he's in the pistol. He's got his fullback. Direct snap to Mueller again. Does he find the end zone? He does not. He's going to be down at about the half-yard line. Second and goal from there.
You know, that was just trying to catch the defense where they were a little bit off guard. But it's kind of funny as you're watching Mr. Mueller is a direct handoff, and he just kind of slowly, very patiently weaves his way through the gaps that are given to him for those runs. Mr. Levi does the same exact thing when he's running the ball. That's a good sign of a good running back when they can just kind of weave through the hole.
Van Leeuwen, motion. That's Maddox Mueller. Direct snap to Ryder Mueller, and it's a touchdown for Ryder Mueller. That's his first one of this one. 19-0, Lynx. They haven't changed the scoreboard. Did he not? What just happened?
No, he did. They just haven't changed the scoreboard. But they're clearly lining up for an extra point because their ball's on the half. There we go. Now we changed it.
There we go.
Yeah,
Boy,
we don't want to not add points.
2-point conversion. The Lynx coaching staff going for that 2-point conversion off the missed extra point from Mitzel just a moment ago. Direct snap to Mueller again, and he's not touched. 2-point conversion is good. Lynx up. 3 scores, 21-0 early in this second quarter.
You know, that's just good play calling, but more importantly, excellent execution because they snap it to the running back so you don't have to worry about a missed handoff, but you've got that extra blocker now with the quarterback because he's a pretty good-sized young man playing quarterback for the Lynx when you're talking about, 6'3", 180, an extra blocker picking up that guy that's supposed to be filling that gap and making it wide open for the run to the end zone.
And we're going to talk about here in this telecast a little bit about the offensive line. And we're going to give them a little bit of recognition here as they deserve all the recognition. When we say these running backs aren't touched or this quarterback's not touched, we mean it because you can see it from our vantage point. There's huge holes, right? That cutback's right there, and you saw on that touchdown by Mueller, and then the actual 2-point conversion. He's not touched,
right? Because they're doing kick-out blocks and they're opening up wide spots. Now, there's going to come a point tonight, Ken, where I vaguely say that I could have ran through that hole. Let's not be confusing anybody. I could not run through what they're running through.
That's 32 Allen off the Mitzel kick. He's going to bring the ball up to about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Colonels are going to start on offense.
Chris Kutsea on the tackle there, number 46.
Lynx defense. We'll cover the Lynx defense, too, I know I've said it repeatedly this evening, but, boy, when they had to come up big last week, they did because it was a high-scoring game. When it ends up 35-30 and you win the ball game on a last-second fumble at the 2-ish, your defense played really good in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
There's Hazing. He's going to pitch it to number 32. That's Allen. He gains a chunk of yards, but there is a flag on the play at about the 26-yard line. We'll see if it's holding.
Right about the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard deep or so.
We'll see what the call is.
Maybe
it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be on the Colonels. As it's going to be a holding call on number 61.
Their center, Owen Kaufman.
And that's going to be a loss of 10 yards. Is going to bring up a first down. Actually, it's going to be a loss of 5. I apologize. First down and 15 from the 16. 10:30 to go, first half. Hazing Williams is there! Touchdown, Lynx!
Yeah,
beautiful play as they try to screen pass. And guess what? Number 1 wasn't fooled at all. He was the intended receiver. He made himself the intended receiver, and he capitalizes. The defense scores for the Lynx 27-0.
Yeah, they got some pressure, and I think it got just a little bit of a tip on the ball, and they couldn't get it past that first set of rush. And great play by Williams there to pick up the defense there and get a score.
Mitchell on to kick. As Stroh's going to hold. That's number 24 for the Lynx. The kick, low snap. It is up. It is good. 28-0. Early still in this second quarter. It's been all Lynx special teams offense and especially defense creating 2 turnovers already. Bouncing off that last week win in the fourth quarter when the defense came up strong with 2 turnovers. They are actually moving that to this game with 2 quick turnovers and a score right there.
Yeah, the defense is definitely putting some pressure on the quarterback, and when you're trying to capitalize on that pressure, but you don't get that ball up over top of the rushers, bad things can happen, and we just saw one of those.
Fireworks going off in the distance. That's what Lynx fans do. Some of the Lynx fans do, right? And I heard they were approved for that. So if anybody questions how they're shooting off fireworks outside the fence, I heard they were approved for that. So thank you.
They can talk to the city council maybe?
Yeah. Mitchell.
Do you know anybody on the city council?
No idea.
That's going to get mad at you for us telling them to contact those guys?
No idea.
Okay.
Mitchell. There's the kick. It is taken by number 4 for the Colonels.
Cooper Veld on the tackle, and he just planted him to the turf.
Kelsey with the return. Big tackle on special teams again. As you can see, this is a reoccurring theme a lot this year as the special teams are not giving great field position to any offense that the defense has to go against, right? It's always, hey, we got to go get 80 yards, move down this field. It's a lot easier to do that way than only having to give up 40 to get a touchdown. Hasing, he gives it to number 42, Bessler. It's going to be no gain, and it's going to be a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, there was several Lynx players on that particular tackle, but they did a great job of not allowing him to get outside of contain on the far side.
So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the 20. We're under 10 minutes to go in this first half. Lynx have scored on every possession and a score from their defense just a moment ago. Hasing, I formation directly behind him. Option.
Ball on the ground.
Ball is on the ground, and Williams finds it again. It's going to be Lynx ball right there at the 16. And a big turnover again for the Lynx. And we talk about, Bob, here's the thing. People are asking why are the Colonels putting the ball on the ground, right? The penetration from those outside linebackers and that defensive line is tremendous, right? Because that's an option play. So it's a fake to the fullback, right? And then you go to the option to the outside. And that quarterback has -0 time to do anything with the ball on the pitch.
And to be fair to the quarterback, that was an excellent pitch, right? Hit the running back right in the hands. Unfortunately, there was a defensive person right there as well that stopped him from getting a good handle on it, and down it went.
Van Leeuwen gives it to his new running back in the ball game. That's going to be Christensen.
Looks like they got a gain of about
Number
3.
34 for the Lynx, his first carry, gain of 3, like Bob just said. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 from the 17. Or excuse me, the 13. Van Leeuwen finds his receiver. Mueller, touchdown! His second one in this ball game. third one from Van Loer. He has one on the ground and two from the air. 34-0 Lynx.
That was a laser of a throw. One of those low risk throws because it got out there so quick that the defense didn't have time to react to it. They made a good drive on the route. The defender had to give up some ground, and boom, it was a laser shot, and he made an excellent move to get away from the defender for the touchdown.
On to kick is Delaney, the new kicker. Stroh to hold. Delaney's up and good. That extra point's good. 35-0, 8:48 to go, and that is right. It is still the second quarter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, but that might be something that the younger Delaney did that his older brother never got the chance to do, and has kicked the extra point.
That's true. That's a good point.
I think that I've been doing
the
this
other
for
number
4 to 5
5
years. Yes,
Yeah.
His brother that did everything for the Lynx. He was through some touchdown passes. He ran some passes. He caught a lot of touchdown passes. He run kickoffs back. He run punts back for touchdown. But I don't ever recall him lining up to kick an extra point.
I don't either, and we've been doing this for quite a while. Like you said, all of Brett Delaney's actual career, I think we covered in high school from basketball. We didn't cover track, which he was a tremendous runner in track too, right?
I did see a state championship though in track.
Yeah, and so we did basketball for him. He was a tremendous athlete in basketball, and he's playing football up for the Jackrabbits in Brookings, South Dakota. Delaney is on to kick now for the Lynx. Just connected on that extra point. Back deep is number 32, Allen, for the Colonels. That's up. Allen's going to take it about the 5. He does. He cuts it up the seam. He's going to get it to the 20, and that's where he's going to be brought down right at the 20-yard line. The Colonels are going to start with the ball there. They are moving right to left on your screen. If you are just joining us, welcome on Channel 226 on Alliance Communications, wherever you are here around this area and wherever you are around the world on Lynx TV YouTube. Welcome.
Yeah, it looks like we might have a couple of some newer players on defense here. We'll see as the plays develop what we have. Aniso Ahmed, I know, is in on the line there from what I can see right next to Dylan Williams.
That's Hasing. He's going to give it to his running back. And that's going to be number 42, Bessler.
On the carry, number 42, Logan Bessler.
And it's going to be no gain, maybe minimal gain. They'll call it no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 21. 8:20 to go. First half. It's been all Lynx 35-0 so far for your Lynx. Hasing. Bessler directly behind him. He motions Allen. They end around to number 11, LeBrun. And LeBrun with his first carry of this one on the end around. It's going to bring up a third down now in about 4, maybe 5 yards. Hopefully you're able to watch as I can see that we may be having a little bit of technical difficulty. As you can see that orange screen, you can see on the bottom there. We'll try to paint the picture a little bit until that screen comes back for you folks. It's going to be third down in about 4 from the 27. There is LeBrun again. He's going to gain the first down and a little bit more. No, he's going to gain right at the first down marker. Moves the chains for the Colonels.
Yeah, Gage Mandery made an excellent tackle there to keep him from getting loose down the sidelines. But they figured out a little something, that's a little misdirection that's having some success.
A lot
right
of over pursuing, right? I mean, the Lynx coaching staff is calling it an aggressive game, which they should be. You're running against really a kind of a wing T offense. I know there's an I formation built into there, but it's really a little bit of misdirection that they try to run. That's Hastings. They give it to number 32, Allen. Gain of about 1, maybe 2 yards, brings up a second down and 8 from about the 33.
Yeah, Dylan Williams on the tackle again. He did a nice job of following that running back as the ball's going there and catching him just as they just get across the line. So good job from his outside linebacker spot.
Second down and 8 from the 33, 6:25 first half. Late substitution for the Lynx. They get it in. Hastings scrambling, incomplete. His intended receiver is going to be LeBrun, number 11. He's got 2 carries on this series. It's going to bring us up a third down and 8 from the 33.
The secondary did a nice job of pass coverage there, not giving them an easy throwing lane, and did a good job of breaking it up at the end.
Third down and 8, 6:15 to go. First half, Lynx 35-0. The number 1 team in AAA are your Lynx in black and red. Gives it to number 32. That's going to be Hastings. Gives it to Allen. There's a chunk of yards. The ball's on the ground again. It's going to be down right there. It is Lynx ball, third turnover. Actually, fourth turnover of this first half. Lynx calls it again, and there it is. Lynx are going to take over their possession at about the 38-yard line, and with 6:07 to go, first half.
Okay, looks like Van Leeuwen is coming out again, running with the offense here. It looks like we've got a combination of some of the normal first team and some of the second team here. We'll see how this works. This could be crucial in the development of some of the players.
Van Leeuwen, 2 receivers to his right. He's got 2 running backs with him. That's Christian. He had 1 carry on the last series. His second carry goes for about 1 yard. It's going to bring up a second down and 9 from the 38. Van Leeuwen looks to the sideline to his coaching staff. Clock is stopped. I do not know why. 6:07 to go. No timeout is called.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the clock is stopped.
The refs are saying wind it. I can see them. Now they are winding it. It's going to be Van Leeuwen. 2 receivers to his right. Play action. He's got a receiver open underneath. That's going to be number 3, Ryder Mueller, the running back. Carries a couple of players in white, and he backpedals all the way to about the 20-yard line, moving the chains. First down, Lynx, as the Lynx go into the red zone again this evening.
You know, that pass play, they're probably saying, up 35-0, why are we passing? Well, that kind of pass in how they threw that was just basically like a run. Very safe, very low-risk pass, and got some good yardage.
Van Leeuwen, he's got 2 running backs to his left. That's going to be Mueller and Christian. They do go on the play action. They go out to Mueller. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown! Beautiful run by Ryder Mueller. He finds the end zone, and he has 2 touchdowns this evening on the ground, plus a 2-point conversion. Lynx up 41-0, 5:21 to go, first half.
He made most of that particular pass, all the extra yards, all by himself, defending off the defender and getting enough momentum to get him into the end zone.
Delaney on to kick at the 10. It's up. Good. As he finds the students way back there on the track. It's 42-0. 5:21 to go. The number 1 ranked team in AAA are running on high field tonight, buddy.
They are. The offense is definitely doing a lot of things that Mitchell's just not capable right now as it sits of stopping. The Lynx defense, even though they're bringing in some of the folks that are not necessarily the first team players, are getting some good playing time. They're making some excellent plays. They're showing basically the coaches that, you know what, coach, I want to get in here more. And the coach is giving them that opportunity to show what they can do.
And one thing, you get great field position from your defense, right? They've caused 4 turnovers in the first half, right? Some teams don't cause 4 turnovers in 5 games. This is a first half, and we're not even done with the first half. We still have 5:21 to go in the second quarter.
We do. So here we go.
Delaney. There is a missed tackle, but there's a host of Lynx defenders right there at about the 25 as number 4 for the Colonels. That's going to be Croce, Avery Croce on the return, his second return of this one. 26-yard line, and that's where the Colonels are going to start on offense. They do have all 3 timeouts. No team has taken a timeout this evening. We'll see what they do on offense. 2 receivers to Hastings left and right. He's got that tight end along with him to his right, I formation. Option. They do give it to the fullback. That is number 42, Bessler with the carry.
And Miles Foken on the tackle. They're just doing a good job of collapsing those lanes internally in the line, making him either have to run outside or to pitch it outside. And that's just good fundamental defense, of which the players know the system and are executing it well.
Hastings, I formation. He's got Kemp deep. He is brought down immediately. That's Hastings.
Tone Ledbetter on the tackle.
He does get the ball off to Bessler. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. When we talk about the Lynx putting the pedal down, right? They're running on such this high motor, like defensively and offensively, like it's so aggressive, and that's what you want to see on these matchups, right? You want to take the momentum that was created last week into this one, and this is a beautiful ball game. Intercepted? No, it's a great catch by number 7.
There's a flag on the play.
By number 7 for the Colonels. That's going to be Colton Smith with a really good catch, but Bob said there's a flag on the play. I can see it.
Just
I wonder
to the
if it's
Mitchell side
interference.
of the 50. Be interesting to see. That's kind of an interesting place to throw a flag.
Beautiful catch.
So I'm guessing it would have been on the Lynx because they must have declined it and took the first down.
Beautiful catch by Colton Smith as he had to fight for that. There was 2 defenders there, and he went right in between them to go grab that ball.
If I remember correctly, Colton Smith is one heck of a basketball player, and he is like 6. Let me look. He is like 6'5", and he just jumped up and took it away from him.
2 receivers to Hastings right. They do give it to number 42. That's Bessler again, and he is met and stopped for a 1-yard loss by the Lynx defense.
Aniso Ahmed on the tackle, and what a very forceful tackle that he did. Got him just before the line of scrimmage.
414 of you are tuning into this one currently on Lynx TV YouTube. Thank you for joining us as you are watching this Lynx team as they are really, really taking the wind and everything out of the sail of this Colonels team. That's Kemp with the carry. It's going to be about a gain of 5-ish down to the 30. Brings up a big 3rd down and 5 for both the defense for the Lynx and this offense for the Colonels as they cross the 50 for the first time this evening, as they do have 3 timeouts remaining. Both teams do. 3rd and 5 for the Colonels. Hasing, the quarterback. He goes under center, wing T offense. He's got his fullback, LeBrun, right to his left. It's been Kempf at running back, and now they give it to him. He moves the chains. First down for the Colonels. Good drive by the Colonels so far on this one with the big catch by Smith from Hasing, as that's going to be a first down and 10 from the 24.
Yeah, they've got a nice little bit of momentum heading into halftime here, moving the football a little bit. We'll see if the Lynx can tighten up the defense and keep them out from scoring.
That carry is going to gain of about 1 yard. We'll call it 1. 2nd down and 9 from the 23.
Yeah, now they're starting to rotate in and getting some, keeping everybody fresh. They just rotated in 3 new guys, two defensive linemen and 1 linebacker there, and brought them out. So they're keeping them fresh, which is something that they're going to need to do.
1:30 on the snap here. It's going to be Hasing, I formation, option. They go to Kemp. He's met in the backfield. Big play by the Lynx defense. That's going to be number 6.
Chase Hartman.
For the Lynx, that's going to be Hartman with a big play from the outside linebacker's position there.
Yeah, what a way to close. I mean, he just saw the pitch, and he closed in, made a solid hit on the ball carrier, and brought him down without any extra yardage being gained.
Under a minute to go, first half. Hasing, 3rd down and 11, maybe 12. Play action. He connected on his last throw. They go up top. No interference. Intercepted by the Lynx as they take it out. That's number 4. That's going to be Gavin Johnson, and he brings it out to the 25, maybe 26-yard line. 5th turnover by the Colonels. Boy, what a play.
You know, I think the quarterback thought that he expected the receiver to kind of cut towards the goal post there, because that's where he threw the ball, and instead he went to the back, our left corner of the end zone, and the defender was right there. We had good coverage there, but I think he expected the receiver to cut more towards the goal post versus the back end corner of the end zone.
New quarterback in for the Lynx is Jake Halseth, number 18. It looks like the Lynx are going to down this one. They do. They take a knee, and they are going to be able to go into halftime as your Lynx, as that clock winds down. The play clock, as you can see on the right of your screen, there's about a 3-second difference-ish, and that's going to do it. The Lynx are in no hurry. They want to get to the locker room and reevaluate what they really did well, and that was about everything in that first half, as the Lynx are up 42-0, and the Colonels did have a really good drive there. They put the ball in the air, intercepted.
Yeah, now we get to go to halftime, and I believe we're going to see the marching Lynx come out and do their halftime show, which is always exciting to watch. One of the better marching bands that we see around here. Go to a lot of competitions, have very good results in those competitions, and it's very fun to watch. So we're going to leave it, I know, right here and let you watch the show.
42-0, your Lynx, the top team in the state of South Dakota and the AAA, the Metro Conference, the ESD. That's why they do play the Colonels and the ESD, right? And that's not a Metro game as we speak. It's an ESD game. And so the Lynx, we talked about, Bob, and we'll cover and a couple different things as soon as we will be coming back, and we're gonna let it be live for you so you can enjoy the Lynx marching band. Like Bob said, they are tremendous, and this is a tremendous program. We've been privileged to be able to watch from this sky view, right? Bob, and watch this marching band. It is a great performance. So I would say stay tuned for that. But your Lynx up 42-0 on this October evening on Military Appreciation Night here in Brandon, South Dakota. We're going to leave it over to the Lynx Marching Band. Enjoy.
Is your band ready? Brandon Valley Marching Lynx, who may now take the field in exhibition.
Marcus, the Alliance Street is down.
And welcome back. If you stayed tuned to the marching band, wow, what a performance at halftime. As this evening has been a lot of what can Brandon do to build off of that huge win. Sometimes there's so much emotion, right, Bob, into that game just 7 days ago, right? There's so much emotion. There's so much effort. There's so much that goes into that, right?
Yes.
And now this can be like one of those games where you don't bring your full energy, right? You see a team that's 1-5, you're 6-0.
Trap game.
Yeah, that's what they call them, right? And one thing that's super impressive about this team right now is that I don't know if you're seeing it, folks. I'm not seeing it. I don't think Bob's seeing it. They are still playing this game. And we talked about in the beginning of the telecast is you got to go 1-0 against the Colonels, right? You have to go 1-0. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to go 1-0 that week. And you got to win that week. And right now, the Lynx, boy, it's super impressive. Every phase, from the coaching staff to the players, special teams, offense, and boy, what a performance by that defense.
You know, I got to say that I think the defense has brought their AAA plus game, knowing that, you know what, Brandon is playing with their backup quarterback. They're playing with their backup running back that wouldn't typically start the season, playing with a backup left tackle that started the season. We see them all down in front of us in game jerseys, so we know that they're not going to come in and get any minutes. And the defense says, you know what? How about you jump on our back tonight instead of having to score 40 points a game? How about you jump on our back and we will carry the game tonight?
Absolutely.
Now,
great point.
We got to give this to as well, Ken. Brandon, #1 team in Class AAA. Mitchell is currently at Class AA school. They're not having their best season that they've ever had there, but I tell you what, they're playing hard, and they're doing a good job tonight. But there is a little bit of a difference in the teams, but Brandon could have let that get to their head and kind of walk around all cocky on the sidelines and all that kind of good stuff. But the defense is setting the tone and said, hey, we're going to bust our buns tonight, and we're going to show them that, you know what, defense is how we win games. We get turnovers. We get short fields to try to help out the offense. And guess what? Brandon isn't running for 300 yards at halftime here, folks. They're passing the ball around, and now all of a sudden other teams have got to take a look at the game tape and said, wow, we can't stack the box with 8 people and just have single coverage because they got somebody that can pass the ball down the field, and guess what? Their receivers can get open.
Absolutely.
And that's what has happened tonight, and it's a very good first half, but guess what? We still have a second half to go, and I believe according to South Dakota football rules, I believe the second half should be a running clock because there is more than a 35-point difference.
Absolutely. Let's talk about, Bob, if you want to go over the offensive line. I talked about a little bit about giving them a spotlight this evening, and they're really what's really catapulting when we turn it over to the offensive side. Let's recognize them.
So I think getting his first start this year is number 57, Jackson Vogt. He's an offensive tackle. He's 6'1", 210-pound sophomore. We've got Cal Weiss, who started every game this year. He's an offensive guard, 6 foot, 275-pound senior. We've got Isaac Mitzel, who has, again, been center all year long, 6 foot, 260 pounds. Not only can he snap the ball pretty darn well, he kicks some pretty good field goals and extra points. We've also got a right guard, an University of Iowa commit, Hudson Parliament, who's 6'4", 300-pound junior. Actually, I believe he's a senior this year. My notes are wrong. I apologize for that. And then at right tackle, you've got 6'4", 220-pound senior Parker Coughlin. just, you know, a couple of years ago we had a offensive line here that had every single person up and down the line that was way in excess of 300 pounds. Now, we're not going to say that these guys are as big, but I tell you what, these guys play with the fundamentals every bit as well as that team did. That team was more about, we're just going to push you around with our size. This team says, we're going to beat the crap out of you with our technique and our fundamentals and how we run our plays. And, you know, they should be thanked, because to me that's what makes this team go, because you got to stop the run, because the offensive line is just beating on you all game long. And as soon as you try to put too many people in there, bang, they throw a pass down the field and they catch you napping. So great job to the coaching staff, and a great job to the coach that coaches the offensive line, because they've done it for a lot of years, taught them fundamentals and how to block in the trenches.
Mr. Skibstad does coach the offensive line. He's done a tremendous job all year as that coaching staff for the Lynx. We see it every year. This team is well coached, well prepared in every phase of the game. Also, I want to talk about, as we're getting the kickoff here, as Dowd, our tight end, does tremendous work from that tight end position in blocking too, number 8. And the fullback, Lyndon Kugel, he's been tremendous this evening, and he's been tremendous all year at the fullback position. We see that he was a recipient of one of the catches this evening too, from Van Leeuwen. Lynx offense is going to come to the field. I believe we will have a new quarterback,
Jake Halseth.
I
think he's a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. And we'll see what he can do, how he can run the offense. But looks like we've got a running clock here to start the second half.
Camden Christian right behind him, number 34. Halseth does go to his receiver on this opening drive for the Lynx in the second half. And that's going to be Tristan Delaney, number 5, with the catch. Halseth is now 1 for 1 in this one.
You know, I would just quit, Ken, and say my completion percentage is 100%.
Yeah, we're good, right? Second down now, and 8 from the 25. Bob said we have a running clock. The score is correct if you're just joining us. It's been all Lynx in the first half, 42-0 in this matchup on this Friday evening on Military Appreciation Night. That's Delaney again with the catch. He's going to move the chains. Second consecutive catch on that one. Second consecutive completion from the new quarterback in Halseth.
You know, I think they're seeing that they're filling up the box, and with the new quarterback, they're just trying to get him to loosen up a little bit and help the running game. And I don't believe that they're trying to score a lot of touchdowns on passes here. They're just trying to get the defense to loosen up a bit.
Halseth, pistol formation. It's going to be, I believe, the first
offsides
penalty. Oh, it's going to be encroachment. I was going to say the first penalty on the Lynx, but it is on the Colonels. It's going to be a free 5 yards. It's going to bring a first down and 5 from the 38. 9:45 to go, third quarter.
I kind of like the offense coming out, just kind of running like they would if they were the first team. First team was out there. I like the confidence that the quarterback under center has in getting it to his receivers out there.
Halseth, he does motion his tight end. That's number 80. That's going to be Irie. He does give it to Christensen, and he's going to grab that first down as he catapults all the way up to the 45. First down, Lynx.
There again, a nice wide hole by the offensive line. And most of these are new folks in other than the starters. So it's good to see that the running back that are in there now are getting some good blocking in front of them.
Lynx, no hurry as they go to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be Halseth. He's got 2 receivers to his left. Play action. They do go to Delaney for the third time in this series. He breaks a tackle, crosses the 50. There is a flag on the play. So I don't know. To me, it can't be a holding. Maybe it is. there was nobody out there besides besides Delaney, the receiver and the defensive back. Let's see what's called here. They do call a holding. It was something I didn't see outside or inside the hashes, right? Everything was played outside the hashes with a late flag. So that's going to be the first penalty on your Lynx. It's a 5-yard loss. On that penalty, it's going to be 1st and 18.
Which I don't understand.
Halseth. Pistol. Christensen tries to break that tackle. He's going to gain about 1, maybe 2 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 16 from the 39.
Breyer Stack on the tackle. Again, they're just running between the tackles and letting the offensive line kind of do their work. But now we'll see kind of what kind of play they dial up to try to get a little closer to a little more manageable 3rd down.
Halseth, he has Irie to his right. That is tight end. 2 receivers to his right also. Give it to Christensen again. Big hole up the middle. Crosses the 45, and he gets brought down about the 48-yard line as he basically crosses almost a full logo, as you can see on the middle of your screen, the BV logo in red there, as he carries a host of players, and he's coming to the sideline here. You can see on the bottom of your screen, that's going to be Christensen off of that carry. 3rd down, 7. From the 48, Halseth. Rolls right. He's got Delaney again. Great catch by Delaney on the sideline. Great pass by Halseth as he rolls out, moves the chains, crosses the 50. He is brought down at the 39. 1st down and 10 for the Lynx.
I think they played a little pitch and catch together for a little bit because, boy, they were looking pretty smooth and kind of knew exactly where the 1st down needed to be, but also where his receiver was going to be.
I agree.
And made a good running throw.
Delaney with his 4th catch of this series. It's been all Delaney and Christensen with Halseth delivering the ball. They go to Delaney again. Big catch. His 5th catch of this drive. He is brought down at about the 31 on that 1st down and 10. It's now 2nd down and 2 from the 31.
He's got a lot of confidence. And he's throwing the ball like he's got a lot of confidence.
Lynx are moving again on offense. They have scored on every possession, and it's been a lot of possessions as the defense has given the ball back to the offense 5 times in the first half. Halseth gives it to his running back, number 35. That's going to be Leo Hatton with his first carry of this one. And does he grab a 1st down? He does not. He's brought down about 2 yards, maybe 3 yards short there.
You know, that was a great tackle by Kyson Herman there because he looked like he was going to get loose, and he kind of maintained his ground and made a nice tackle.
3rd down and 2, no gain. Right about the 31. They're going to say 32, so it's going to be a loss of 1. 3rd down, Halseth. Rolls right. It's a quarterback keeper. Big block by Hatton. Does he get the 1st down?
I think he does.
It's going to be just short.
Oh, wow. One with the marker on the other, the official on the other side had it right on the hash, but maybe that is about a foot short.
Interesting call here. Christensen, Coach Christensen, do you attempt a field goal here to work on? I'm not saying this game's over, folks. Don't take this wrong. But do you work on things for the future from the kicking game? They're going to go for it. It's going to be Halseth. 4th down and 1, right at the almost 30-yard line. Motions Irie, his tight end. They give it to Hatton. Does he get the 1st down? He does not.
boy, it looked like he hit the hole pretty good, but they kind of drug him backwards. He didn't get any yards after contact.
As Hatton is brought down for no gain. Colonel's first stop on defense this evening comes with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lynx defense back on the field. We talked about what they were doing in the first half. You're going to see some substitutions here, and let's see if they can keep that momentum from the defensive side. 5 turnovers in 2 quarters so far for the Lynx defense. That's going to be the quarterback. Still is going to be Hazing. They do pitch it to number 32. That's Allen. He is brought down and stuffed. 5-yard loss.
Cooper Veld.
Cooper Veld.
Well, he just battled his defensive guy that was on him and kind of shut him off to the side and made a great tackle so that he couldn't get outside.
I said a 5-yard loss. It was a 6-yard loss. Second down and 16, 2:25 to go, third quarter, as we have a running clock in this one as the Lynx trying to hold the Colonels on their first series in the second half. Hazing is met in the backfield. It's going to be a sack by a host. I don't think you can give a number on that one. There's about 3 or 4 defenders there, but it's going to be a loss of about 1. It's going to bring up a third down and about 17 from the 25.
You know, the defensive lineman shot the gap there and got to the quarterback before he had a chance to make any kind of option play. He just had to hold on to it.
From the 23, so it's a 1-yard loss. Third down and 17 from the 23. That's going to be the quarterback, Hazing. He's got 2 receivers to his left. It's going to be a roll left. Goes up top. It is almost intercepted. It is almost caught by number 32, the running back for the Colonels, but it is incomplete. It's going to bring up a punting formation for the Colonels, and Halseth is back deep at the 40. You now see him coming into your screen right at the logo of the B of the BV in the middle of the field at the 45. Booming kick. Halseth.
Ball's loose.
It's going to be a turnover as Halseth ran into one of his blockers at about the 50. It bounces off Halseth. It's going to be the first turnover for the Lynx in this one as we're at 30 seconds to go, third quarter. Lynx up 42-0. Colonels starting with their field position on their second series right here as the Lynx defense looking to hold again.
Yeah, this is just going to give them some opportunity to look at some games film later this week and get prepared for the next game, and they'll kind of show them what they should have happened there.
Hazing gives it to Allen. He breaks a tackle, and he is loose, and he's got the first touchdown for the Colonels. You could see that misdirection play, and great running by Allen as he finds the end zone, breaks a couple tackles. It is now 42-6, and that's going to do it for the third quarter, as I believe we'll have the extra point as first before we head into the fourth quarter. We're going to give you some scores right now around the state of South Dakota.
All right, at Howard Wood Field, we've got Sioux Falls Roosevelt over Rapid City Stevens, 30-22 with a minute left in the fourth quarter. O'Gorman's playing Washington at O'Gorman Field, and they're up 10-7 at the end of the half. That one I know is a little bit later. We're just waiting for a more recent update. And then out also in Rapid City at O'Hara Stadium, we got Sioux Falls Lincoln up over Rapid City Central, 21-0 at the end of one period.
Scores around, go ahead.
That's it.
Scores around the South Dakota, state of South Dakota, and we're glad to bring you those. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Lynx TV, YouTube, around the world, and Channel 226 on Alliance Communications. Reason we're able to do this evening is because of these sponsors.
All right, our Lynx All-American sponsors are Alliance Communications, Sioux Valley Energy, Aspen Ridge, Sanford Health, Coca-Cola Bottling Chesterman Company, and Midco Communications. Our MVP sponsors are Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Sanford Health in Brandon, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, and First Dakota National Bank. And we will pick up the next sponsors after the kickoff.
As it's going to be the actual second kickoff of this one. Actually, I believe it's the first kickoff of the game for the Colonels.
Halftime.
That's true. I apologize. Second kickoff of this half. It is taken by Delaney. He takes it up to the 20, and that's where the Lynx offense is going to start with 11:53 to go in this one. Running clock, Lynx up 42-7, as it's been all Lynx for majority of this game.
Yeah, that was a good open field tackle by number 4, Avery Kaus. And Delaney would still be running down the sidelines because he had a nice tunnel on our near side by the numbers going to the house here. A nice open field tackle.
Halseth. Christensen back in the game. Number 34, his running back directly behind him. They give it to him. Big hole up the middle. He crosses the 25, gets it down to about the 28-yard line. And that's where it's going to be stopped, just short of the first down. Second down and 1 from the 29.
Yeah, what a good run right up the gut. Like I said, it's just smash mouth football, whether it's the first team or the fourth team. They all kind of do the same thing and let the running backs kind of pick their way through.
Halseth looking to his right and left. Christensen again with him. They go to a pass. It's number 35 with the reception. And that's going to be Leo Hatton with that reception.
Yeah, that was just a nice safe pass out there, and he did a good job of looking the ball in for the reception before you look upfield and run and gain some nice yardage.
First down and 10 for your Lynx at the 36. Halseth again bringing his offense out of that huddle. 3 receivers. I think it's really a tight formation. 2 tight ends to his right with a receiver. They give it to Christensen. He cuts up that seam, and he's going to gain about 3 yards, maybe 4, up to the 40. We're under 10 minutes to go in this one.
Like we said, we got a running clock, so that makes these quarters pretty quick when they don't stop for much of anything other than a touchdown or an injury.
2nd and 6 from the 40. Actually, pistol formation for Halseth. Scott Christensen, they go to the air. He finds his receiver, number 38, for the Lynx, and that's going to be Carter Bills.
That was a nice catch. The pass that he threw out there was over his outside shoulder, and he did a great job of grabbing that ball out of the air with his hands versus letting it hit the body, and allowed him momentum to carry him upfield.
First down and 10 for the Lynx at the 49. They're looking to go across midfield here, as it's going to be Halseth at quarterback. Christensen right behind him in the pistol. They go to the air again. They do find number 40. That's going to be Barthman, Lawson Barthman, with his first catch of this game. And they cross the 50, get it down to the 45, 2nd and 4 from there.
You know, I do like the play call and how they're allowing the quarterback to kind of build some confidence out there and throwing the ball around, because you never know when you're going to need that person.
Halseth again, 2 receivers to his left. He's put it in the air quite a bit so far in the second half. Christensen directly behind him. They do give it to him. He goes across the 45 down to about the 42. They're going to say 43-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down and 2 from there.
Yeah, again, they're not trying to run up the score. They're not throwing bombs here. They're just running basic run plays, and you know, with the way they are with the punter and so forth, this is probably 2 down territory where you're going to see a couple of run plays to get 2 yards.
Lynx break the huddle. 3rd down and 2. 7:45 to go in this one. Lynx up 42-7. Halseth now in a true shotgun formation. They go up top to number 39. He grabs the first down and more. That's going to be Carter Bills again with his 2nd reception of this series.
You know, that shows what I know about football, Ken. I stand up here like I know what I'm talking about and say that they're just going to run 2 plays, run plays up the middle, and they come out and get a quick pass for a first down. I guess that would be why I'm up here, and the offensive play callers are somewhere else.
They're seeing something that we're not seeing, and that's exactly right. That's why we're up here. Tight end. Motions to the right. That's Irie. They do give it to Christensen. It's going to be a loss of 1 on that 1st down and 10. Brings up a 2nd down and 11 from the 38. 6:45 to go in this one. Lynx looking to move their record to 7-0 and stay undefeated in this 2025 season on Military Appreciation Night here in Brandon, South Dakota. It's going to be Halseth. He's got Christensen. He's got 2 receivers to his left, along with his tight end. Christensen breaks it out. He finds the hash. He's going to gain. No, it's going to be no gain on there, as good defense by the Colonels there as they stop that run from Christensen to a no gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down 11 from the 38.
You know, it sure looked like when he broke to the outside that he might be able to get around the corner, but the Mitchell Colonels did a great job of containing his run and stopping him for basically no gain.
3rd down 11, 5:50 to go. Lynx are in no hurry as they break the huddle. They have plenty of time on the play clock. Play clock is showing 6 seconds. Pistol formation. Halseth doesn't like it. He goes up top, though. He finds his receiver. We'll get a number on that one. That's going to be, I believe, his running back. Now there is a penalty flag. I believe the running back's going to be Hatton, but it is going to come back as it's going to be a holding call. Beautiful throw, though. Beautiful catch from Halseth to Hatton there.
Again, they put something on the old game film that somebody else is going to have to watch, which, but now you've got a 3rd down and what, about 18, 17?
3rd down and 11. As they're going to, the scoreboard hasn't changed. It's going to be 3rd down and 16 from the 43. 3 receivers to Halseth's left. He's got Christensen also to his left. They're going to go up top. They go up top, and a beautiful catch by number 40. That's Barthman. He went up top and grabbed that one.
That was a really good throw. So now you got a 4th down and what, roughly 3?
Yeah, two to 3, I would say, at the 30.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of a play call they got, because right now the quarterback's playing with all kinds of confidence. Do you pass it over the middle? Do you pass it out to the flank? Do you give it to the running back? The defense doesn't necessarily know what they're going to be doing.
4th down and 3 from the 30. It's Halseth. Direct snap to him. He breaks a tackle, cuts it up on the seam, and he brings it all the way down to the 2-yard line, and he is down there. What a beautiful run. But what you didn't see, folks, and maybe some of you saw, was Christensen kicking that outside linebacker out on that designed quarterback keeper. And Christensen from the running back position, number 34, is the one that really catapulted that run.
Blew that hole wide open for him. And, you know, Halseth's got some speed.
Halseth?
Some deceptive speed. This is the first time I'm really getting a chance to see him with some extended play, and I'm very impressed.
1st and goal from the 2. Christensen, they reward him. Touchdown, number 34. as he crosses the plane off of that big block on the play before. The offense rewards him with a touchdown there. He fights for a yard. Lynx up 48-7.
Yeah, that was just a good nice straight run play. The offensive line got them the 2 yards that they needed, but more importantly, the running back, when he was met at the line at the 1 yard line, he kept his legs churning for that extra yard and the touchdown.
Delaney is on for the extra point for the Lynx. It's 48-7.
They probably figured maybe they need all 11 players to block this one. But when you play a lot of the folks that don't necessarily play on the first team, sometimes you got to get yourself gathered and to get it up there, and it's good.
That one is good by Delaney. 49-7. Lynx up by 42 with 3 minutes to go in this one.
Yeah, that was a good series. We got to see some things, some good offensive flow there, and so now we got to get the Lynx out here and to stop one more series by the Colonels. We've got about 3 minutes to go.
And you talked about it, Bob Hulseth, the quarterback. He's pretty athletic, and he's thrown some really good balls. And I'd love to see his completion percentage because he's completed quite a few of them. But what a great catch by Barthman there, too, as he went up top. But Hulseth put it where the defender wasn't going to catch it, right? He had no chance to catch it. And you said what a great throw, and I agree. That was a great throw.
So, yeah, it's one of those deals where if you kind of look at how your future looks on a high school program. So you've got Knutson, who's a senior. And then, now he's going to graduate. What's going to happen? Well, we've seen Van Leer over the course of roughly a game and a half come out, and he played very composed. When he played number 1 Lincoln, was able to help manufacture 35 points to get a win, 35-0 there. He come out and played great play tonight, had some good passes, but then all of a sudden you got a sophomore that if something was to happen to Van Leeuwer, you're not scared to put that guy out there.
Absolutely. It's great to have great depth, right? And we've seen that all across the board for the Lynx defensively and offensively, as they really, really haven't missed a beat on special teams, offense or defense, as this game was a little out of hand going into halftime, 42-0, and the Lynx have really, really kept the gas pedal down and been aggressive so far throughout this game. 2:20 to go in this one, as Hazing, still your quarterback, pitches it to number 28 for the Colonels, his first carry of this one. And that's going to be
Mason Sarda on the tackle. He's new into the game. That's the first time I've called his name tonight.
Samari Wright with the carry.
And there's a lot of players on the Colonel team that play both ways. Coach, I had a chance to talk to the Mitchell Colonel coach, and that was the one thing he's worried about. He likes the fact he's got some talented guys, but a lot of them have to play both ways.
Right, with the carry again. He's going to grab the first down. And that will move the chains at the 40.
Andrew Gray.
And that's a good point, Bob, is that when you got to go both ways. I remember doing it in high school, right? I had to go both ways too, but it is tough when the other team really doesn't have to. I don't think the only one I really think that really goes both ways is Pudwell, that plays corner and a wide receiver at times. Heavy pressure from the Lynx. Hulseth is intended receiver on the sideline. And it is incomplete.
So that actually was an excellent play by Hazing to avoid what I thought for sure was a sack. And then he hit the receiver right in the hands, right on the sidelines. But he kind of looked upfield, looked to see where he was going to run before he looked the ball into his breadbasket for the reception.
Hey, hats off to our film crew too, and everybody that really puts all the effort into bringing this telecast to you. It is truly second to none across the state of South Dakota. The telecast of what these students and the technical team do to bring you. I mean, look at that crisp picture that we're able to watch every week, right? You're able to watch, and it's fantastic. So hats off to you, and hats off to your Lynx football team as they move their record to 7-0 with fireworks to our right. They win 49-7 on Military Appreciation Evening on this Friday evening. Lynx take care of their home field. The next game, I think Bob will talk about that, but really, Bob, it was all phases of this football team. From you can go from the taping people, right? The people that the actual people that you don't see that are doing everything behind the scenes, to the players on the field. When you're running on, I mean, it is such a, this could have been, you talked about, Bob, a trap game, right? It could have been from that emotional game last week to this one. But they played it so well in all phases of this football team, and everybody are playing at a really high level right now.
And looks like they get to take a little bit of time off. It looks like their next game, very big one, Ken. It is next Friday night. They get to travel to Harrisburg to take on a very good one-loss Harrisburg team, pending the results of tonight's game. But right now they are 5-1 and playing some of their best football of the year right now. And then the final game of the year, which should be the following Thursday. So Harrisburg game is on the 17th of October. The following Thursday, the Lynx get to come home and play, again, a very good Jefferson team. So we've got two very good games coming left, and this team is going to have to be prepared to take care of business on those two games if they want to maintain their top spot and they want to maintain the ability to play some games at home in the playoffs. So we went 1-0 today. The goal, after doing some work this week, watching some film and so forth on their game next week. But next week will be a big one. They get to play Harrisburg, the Harrisburg Tigers, in Harrisburg.
Well, and we know, Bob, this coaching staff, Coach Christensen and his staff, always have this team prepared for what's next to come. You talked about going 1-0, and that's what the Lynx just did. They went 1-0 in the Colonel season, right, if we want to call it the Colonel season. And the Lynx take care of business here on Military Appreciation Night on a Friday evening in Brandon, South Dakota. You're right, that score is correct. 49-7, all Lynx for majority of this evening. They move their record to 7-0, stay on top of the 11 AAA in the Metro Conference in the state of South Dakota. What a ball game. It's all about protecting your home field. They go on the road next Friday. Bob talked about to Harrisburg. They need to go 1-0 in that season, the Harrisburg season, and take care of business. For Bob Arnold, I'm Ken McEwen. Have a great evening.
Good night, everyone.